Late December 1980, 2 U.S. air bases in England, military guards on patrol, and something glowing hovering just beyond the trees. A triangle-shaped craft, a coded message in binary, multiple nights, multiple witnesses. Some called it Britain's Roswell. We're about to break it down. This is the Rendlesham Forest incident, and we're doing it with 0 lighthouses, 0 weather balloons, and 100% military-grade mystery. Will you believe? Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of Mostly True Alien Stories.
UFO sightings. Many Americans have wondered about dangers of unknown objects.
In Mexico, pulling back the curtain. We need to save ourselves.
Welcome back to Mostly True Alien Stories. It's the show where we dig into one real, true alien encounter, case, file, or whistleblower claim, and we're going to decide whether it's mostly true or not. I'm Neal Girandola, along with the ever non-believing co-host we refer to as Andrew Triana. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Neal.
It's so nice to see you. Every episode, we bring you a true report of an alien encounter, parsing the details, we peel back the hype, and we call out the truth hiding in plain sight. And today, we're taking you into the woods, Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk, England, 3 nights, radiation spikes, symbols, recordings, military officers, and a series of UFO encounters that shook a Cold War airbase kind of to its core. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening and follow us on TikTok and YouTube for special content outside of the podcast. Fireside stories. All right, before we get into our featured story, Andrew, I really do want to chat about the 3i Atlas, the intergalactic object that's headed towards Earth. This has blown into a full-on theorist wet dream special with every mile it gets closer. What's your thoughts and takes on the old 3i Atlas? Wait, for those of you who don't know, haven't heard about it, the 3i Atlas, it is an intergalactic object that is heading towards Earth. And then there are scientists like Avi Loeb, he was an astrophysicist from Harvard, who is claiming that this could possibly be a nuclear-powered UFO mothership that is heading in a hostile way towards our galaxy, into our Earth. We will not see this. Well, in October, it's going to pass on the other side of the sun, so we won't be able to see it. And he's saying that the trajectory of this object is not like any other. If it were a comet or anything else, it's not going in the right path. It's going on a strange trajectory that could mean that it's a hostile sort of object coming towards us. And they're going to turn the cameras on it when it passes through by Mars, I believe. I think in October, late October. So we'll see what that's all about. But everyone's going nuts. And we did a video that's on our TikTok that's now almost at 300,000 views. And we're just talking about all of this about Avi Loeb. So I just thought that I wanted to get Andrew's take because I haven't heard what you thought about the 3i Atlas. So what's your take on it? Is this a mostly true alien story or not?
Okay. Can we just say that they've taken Avi's words out of context? I mean, let's just say that. Everybody's just like nitpicking pieces of things that he's saying. Hey, could it be a mothership? But you know what? It could be a mothership. Avi says from Harvard, it's a mothership. It's like, come on, guys. It's not a mothership. It's not a mothership. The latest thing from SphereX says that the tail of this comet is collecting a lot of carbon dioxide gas. And it's collecting it in large amounts, maybe more so than it's done before. Sure. They're not really sure. The changing colors that they're talking about, I don't know, you didn't mention that, but yeah, it's changing colors from like red and blue.
Yeah, that's the newest report. It just came
out. It's blinking. It's sending a code. I deciphered the code.
Well, Avi literally said it's turned on its lights.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not.
He's feeding into it, dude. He's a professor from Harvard. Nobody knew who he was until he said this. I mean, his students knew who he was.
He is a serious astrophysicist at Harvard. Yeah. But more he's also, everyone should know, he's also a UFO enthusiast. He's a big time UFO enthusiast.
He wants it.
So he likes this stuff.
Right. Well,
but I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he also does things such as he creates these reports as scenarios, and he literally puts it in his report. This is just a scenario. what if the object that's heading towards Earth is a UFO mothership that's
Right.
coming to take over? What is that? He says these scenarios, but people are skipping over that part where he says this is only a scenario.
Yeah.
You know, my thoughts, but he is feeding into it. Sorry. Go ahead.
What I think, it's
What
a
do you think? Wait, Andrew, what do you think?
I think it's a mothership and the blinker is stuck.
It's an old guy. It's an old alien.
It's an older alien. He's a
Yeah.
little bit off course.
He has no idea his blinker's still on.
Oh, it's still on. He's like, I think I'm going right. Am I? Margaret, can you tell me? Margaret? Oh,
We're going to go to Earth and we're going to annihilate them. We should have done this years ago.
I said this 1,400 years ago. We should just wipe them off. They're a bunch of freaking morons. No, it's a comet. It's a comet. It's not even
You think it's a comet?
close to Earth. It's 290 million miles away from the sun right now.
Right.
And by the time it gets near Earth, it's going to be so many hundreds of millions. It's just, come on, guys. We want this to be true. If the thing was coming towards us and it was sending messages, we're coming. Hello.
Well, you know what? Somebody's
Hello.
feeding the conspiracies, and there was an interesting thing that was brought up by I believe our boy Stephen Greer.
Oh my gosh, this freaking guy
on his new podcast. But he actually said that there are government officials that are looking for opportunities to distract and feed the narrative that there's hostile aliens or there's a mothership or is this and that, distracting away from the actual work that the people like him and Corbell and, you know, Elizondo are trying to get this disclosure out in the open. So they're making these big claims. So this at 3i Atlas coming, it's his belief that they're trying to make this into something it's not, to distract from the conversation where we should be disclosing information about the UFO.
Okay, I just had a great idea.
Yes, what is it?
I hope Joe Rogan's listening to our podcast, because
He's
if Joe Rogan's listening to our
listening.
I think he's listening. He's got to be right.
Yeah,
I want him to set up a fight between me and Stephen Greer, an ultimate cage match.
Oh my God!
Between Greer and I. I'm done with Dave Grohl. I'm not mad at him anymore about believing.
For those of you who
UFOs.
don't know, Andrew also challenged Dave Grohl to a fight match, but that we couldn't get that going. That was insurance and all this other stuff.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight. I wanted to fight.
Yeah.
But I want Stephen Greer in the ring. That's what I want. Christmas Day, like Rocky IV.
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
Should we do it like
what
Rocky
time?
IV. Should we do it in the morning or noon?
No, we should do it at it's 6 o'clock so people can have their Christmas dinner and watch the fight at the same time.
Oh my God. Everybody be talking about it all day. Yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's open up your presents. Let's go, because Andrew's going to be fighting Stephen Greer pretty soon.
The guy from Mostly True Alien Stories is going to fight the guy who believes in aliens and who has photos of aliens.
I think that would be
determined. If I lose, I'll concede and believe in everything alien.
Wow. You heard it here on Mostly True Alien Stories.
And if he loses, which he will, because I'll destroy him. If he loses, he has to uncover everything that he's just been talking a bunch of bullshit.
All right. Well, here's what I want you to do right now, because I think we have to make this an official challenge. You need to look straight into the camera, and I want you to call him out right now. I want to hear how you're going to call him out and challenge him to a fight on Christmas Day. Go ahead.
Dr. Stephen Greer, this is Android from Mostly True Alien Stories, and I'm calling you to the ring. Christmas Day, 2025. I want you in the ring, motherfucker.
Whoa, wow, you made me curse.
Yeah,
all right.
We can cut that. We don't have to use that.
All right. Stephen Greer, if I know you're listening, and you've heard the challenge, you have to fight Andrew Christmas Day. And if you don't, I mean, everything you're doing is bullshit.
Shit. It's right. It's all lies. Yeah, why don't you tell us more things about aliens and take us some more photos of you and Flippy, the little alien guy that you have photos of him. Yeah.
All right. So you think that 3i Atlas is not a Mostly True Alien Story. It's a comet heading this way.
It's a great story, though.
It really is.
It's an older alien with his blinker on.
I think it's a fun story for its time. But anyway,
Yeah.
but what I like more is that you're going to fight Stephen Greer on Christmas Day. So that's
I think
exciting.
it's great.
All
Let's
right,
start
let's get
training now. I'm
yeah.
ready.
You better. How are you going to train for this one? I don't even know how. I don't even
Dude,
know
I'm
if he
gonna
can
get
fight.
I'm gonna get Apollo's old trainer.
Oh wow, you're going to put logs on your back and stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking forward
You
to
know
it.
what
All
we
right.
could do? We could maybe show the video of my training montage later.
Oh, definitely put in it together. We're
Yeah.
definitely putting a montage together. It's a fight story. I swear to God, we're doing that. All right, let's get into our featured story. Here's how it works. I'm gonna lay out the high level facts of a true report. It's a report told straight from the case file. Then Andrew, he's going to step in with information I probably didn't even mention or knew of. And then we're both going to weigh in on whether we think this is a mostly true alien story or not. And we would love to hear what you guys think. So make sure you leave a comment and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's go. We see you watching. Just hit that subscribe button. All right, let's go to Rendlesham. This is the Rendlesham Forest incident. Took place in Suffolk, England, in the final days of 1980, while most of the world settled in for post-Christmas calm. Something inexplicable broke the silence of a quiet English forest nestled between twin U.S. air bases. Rendlesham Forest, between RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge in Suffolk, England, home to 2 U.S. Air Force bases during the Cold War, became ground zero for what many believe is the UK's most significant and well-documented UFO encounter, even referred to as England's Roswell. It was night 1, December 26, 1980, at around 3 a.m. Strange lights were seen descending into the trees in the forest. And thinking it might be a downed aircraft, the base immediately dispatched a security team, including Sergeant Jim Penniston and Airman John Burroughs, to investigate. What they found wasn't a crash. Penniston would later describe it as a triangular craft, approximately 9 feet long on each side, 6 feet high, resting silently on tripod-like legs. Its surface was black and glassy, covered in glowing symbols of glyphs, which Penniston would later transcribe into a notebook comparing them to hieroglyphs.
He had a notebook on him, so he was writing
wrote it down.
everything.
And he claimed to have touched the craft, feeling a static charge before it silently lifted, cleared the trees, and disappeared. Okay, so there were physical traces that were found at the site. There were triangular indentations in the frozen ground, broken tree branches above, increased radiation readings measured later on at the site. 2 nights later, on December 28th, Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt and a small team entered the forest with a Geiger counter, a handheld recorder, and flashlights. And that recording still exists. So as they observed flashing lights weaving through the trees, Halt's voice can be heard on tape saying, "There it is again. It's coming this way. There's no doubt about it." They reported beams of light shooting down from the sky. Some said they struck the ground near the weapons storage area of the base. And then radiation levels around the landing site again read abnormally high. So Halt filed a memo, now declassified, detailing the encounter and officially titled Unexplained Lights, submitted to the Ministry of Defense. Their response was that this is not a threat and there's no further action to be taken. But that story didn't stay buried. So by 1983, the incident leaked to the press. It hit tabloid headlines that then entered the annals of UFO lore. Penniston later passed a lie detector test about this encounter. In subsequent interviews, he revealed that after touching the glyphs, he received a kind of binary download into his mind. Pages of ones and zeros, which later translated to coordinates, pointing to ancient, mysterious locations around the globe, including the pyramids of Giza and Nazca lines. Other witnesses, they stepped forward confirming unusual lights and base alerts that weekend. And skeptics, of course, suggested misidentified lighthouses or meteorological anomalies, but those who were there have never wavered. Why this case still matters? Well, there's multiple military witnesses. There's physical evidence, indentations, radiation, audio recordings. There's declassified memo from a high-ranking U.S. officer. There's ongoing witness testimony 40 plus years later, and binary code theory still being studied. Okay, well, that's the report as I have it. I'm going to hand it off to you, Andrew, and I want to hear if you think this is a mostly true alien story or not. And listeners, you can weigh in as well.
I'm weighing in right now. That's a true story.
Done. All right, thanks for listening. We'll
Thanks for
see you
listening,
guys
guys.
on the next episode.
Okay, so dude, I dug into this one.
That's
of
what I like about
research.
you. That's what I like
Yeah.
about you.
Is that that's the Romantics, right? That's what I like about you. You hold me tight.
Yeah. You know what? That's going to be your entrance song for the fight with
No, I'm
with
going,
Greer.
dude. I'm going music from Rocky IV.
You're going.
Complete.
You're going to own it. You're going to wear
I'm gonna
the
own it,
striped
dude.
shorts and all.
Yep.
You're going
I'm
to wear
going
the
American
flag short.
Yeah, American flag. Or I might wear Cuba shorts, maybe. Cuba to represent my Cuban heritage. Maybe I'll do that.
Maybe you can wear split shorts.
Oh, Cuba America, yeah.
Yeah, Cuba America.
And then he's gonna wear what? A silver. Oh, maybe he'll wear like
Alien
silver
shorts.
overalls.
No, what alien shorts. All right. So go ahead. So what do you got? All right. What do you got in the story?
All right. So there's a lot of things with this, but the reason why everybody was freaked out was you had mentioned the Cold War. There was a rumor that there was actually nuclear devices underneath the ground there, and that's what attracts the aliens. We've heard that before
at the Air Force base.
At the Air Force
between
base,
the
right? Between
one or
the
the
two.
other.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why they were there. So it was Airman First Class John Burroughs was the first person, and Sergeant Bud Steffens were the first two people to go out. They went out, they called from the gatehouse, and that's when Sergeant Jim Penniston, who was the on-duty flight chief, and he grabbed Airman.
Weren't they at
Edward.
an event? Weren't they at an
No,
event?
No. That was 2 days later. That was 2 days later.
Okay. Yep.
Airman Edward Cabansag, and they headed to the East Gate. And so when they got there, Burroughs said, "Hey, man, we saw these lights that just landed over in the woods over there, and we've got to figure out what the hell's going on," right? So the interesting thing is that no one at the base saw anything. Okay.
Nobody saw anything except for who saw it?
Burroughs saw the lights.
He was the first guy.
Yeah, he was the first guy to see the lights. Okay. And they were driving, because they drive around. There's all these logging roads and stuff around the base, and they know where they're going. They do this every night. So it wasn't like this was out of the ordinary. Okay. Right. But this is what I found interesting. 15 minutes before they saw the lights, radar reported a bogey.
Huh.
They said that there was a bogey in the area.
This is at what time at night?
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
So this is that night patrol guys out there watching everything.
This is the job you don't want.
Right. Yeah.
You want to be like on the day job. You're going to be like, hey, I'm just sitting here doing it right.
Yeah,
and
nothing happens.
2 o'clock in the morning, that's when the stuff's going to go down. That's when the Russians are going to come, and aliens and, Stephen Greer and his friends are going to show up. And so, so they talked that the four of them walked towards the lights, right? And as soon as they got towards the light, they could feel like...
But they had to leave the base to go towards the woods where this was happening, right?
Yeah, well, they were at the East Gate. So, yeah, they basically left the base and started walking into the woods to the area where the lights were down.
Okay. Yeah.
The animals, there were lots of farms in the area. They said that the animals and the farm animals were screaming. But as they got closer to
that's scary. That would scare the shit out of me.
That's
all
scary.
The animals screaming?
Yeah. They're like restless. And they said, but as soon as they got closer to the lights, they stopped.
Okay.
When they got up to where the lights were, a huge bright light turned on. Now, this was just, at this time, it was
this
just...
is through the woods, though. They're
through the woods,
right? In the woods. Yeah.
Right. Burroughs and Penniston were the two. The other two guys stayed back up on the road by the car. They didn't go all the way down. So it was just the two of them.
Just the two of them. They're by themselves, in a sense.
They're by themselves.
I got you. Okay.
So Penniston immediately pulls out his notebook, and he starts taking notes about what he's seeing and everything, right?
That's just an odd thing to do at the moment to me. Not obviously not weighing in, but just I don't think
this is what his job is. He's the staff sergeant on duty. I mean, he has to make notes.
Isn't that something when I get back to my desk? When I get back to my desk, I'm going to write down this report.
No, I guess he was smart enough to have a notebook with.
Maybe he was one of those squared away guys that always took notes on
everything by the book. Yeah. I need, because if by the time I get back to the base, I might not remember what I saw. This way I'm writing it. I'm writing it down. So they get to a clearing, right? And now they see the little craft, right? That is 9 meters by 9 meters.
Okay.
pretty big.
That's pretty
Pretty
big.
big craft,
Wait,
okay?
did I say 9 feet?
You said
I
9
said 9
feet.
feet. Wrong.
You said
Yeah.
9 feet.
My
Yeah,
bad.
9
Yeah.
meters, which is bigger than 9
Yeah.
feet.
What is that?
27 feet,
27.
I think, right? 3 meters? No,
Something
3
like that.
meters to a yard. A yard is 36 inches. So whatever 9 times 36 is. It's pretty big.
That's pretty
Okay,
big.
so it's 30-foot craft,
That,
okay?
that'll fit a couple of people in there.
You know
That's
what I'd
pretty-
like to do? I'd like to
You're
get
gonna-
in that ship, right?
Mhm.
And me and Stephen Greer, and then fly straight up, and then I'd like to drop him out of it.
You can't. You've already challenged him to a fight. You can't now pile other things
After
on
the
this.
fight, I'm going to do that to him.
All right. Okay. Maybe
Okay.
that's your finishing move. All right. Go ahead.
Like Mortal Kombat, mine is an alien ship comes, grabs a guy, takes him up, and drops him.
It's
I
like
love
really
that.
dramatic.
Freaking great. And I'm in
Yeah.
like in silver overalls with boots and a
Yeah.
belt
Okay.
and a headband. I
Yeah.
like it. Okay. All right. So they get to the clearing, and all of a sudden these lights come on, and they're blinded. They can't see anything. Right. The triangle shaped thing was just
Still
sitting
just
there.
the two of them.
Still just the two of them, but it's actually Penniston that goes up to the ship itself,
Mm-hmm.
and he puts his hand on the ship.
That's
And
pretty
when
brave.
he said he put his hand on the ship, everything went white for him. Like his whole vision whited out, and then he
Huh.
came to. He said he felt hieroglyphics or symbols all around the ship. Right. As soon as he did that, he kind of like fell back. He felt nauseous, and the ship took off.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
So now they're like, dude, they're completely freaked out.
Yeah.
So now he starts writing. He's smart enough to where he's going to start writing, and he starts describing the symbols. He also said that even though the symbols were on it, it felt like black glass. Like the ship felt like black glass.
If that is in fact true, the feeling that he had, the response that he had, what kind of technology is that can send that sort of feeling through you, or that kind of experience where you're implanted with these types of things, that you can touch metal or glass or whatever it is, and it's
Right.
able to transmit this emotion into your body and or thoughts. What is that technology? That's freaking crazy.
Right. Well, here's what's even crazier. When they went into the woods, the two of them, Penniston had gotten closer to the ship than Burroughs was, right? By the time
Penniston
all
did.
this went down and the ship went away, it felt like a couple minutes
Okay.
for Burroughs and only a couple seconds for Penniston.
Oh.
It had been 45 minutes.
What?
Yeah, 45 minutes of time had passed. The two guys that they left up at the top of the road, they had called in for a search party to come.
Because they were worried about those guys. They hadn't been
Yep.
back.
Yep,
So
they didn't
wait a
come
minute,
back.
but
They saw the light, supposedly. They didn't say they saw the light.
But Penniston, for him, he thought it was a couple of seconds. But
Burroughs thought it was a couple minutes that they
Yeah,
were
okay.
down there.
Yeah, because Burroughs wasn't up by the ship touching
Wasn't
it.
as close to the ship as Penniston
But he
was.
still had time pass.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
They
Okay.
both were gone for like 45 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
the local police show up, and then Charles Halt, the
Mhm.
LTC Charles Halt shows up to investigate. And just to let you know, he was annoyed by any time anybody brought up UFO stuff.
He didn't like
I don't
that
know what
shit.
that would be like.
He's like
Right.
you.
So, right.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, here, tell me about UFOs.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell you about this UFO.
No,
that
I don't want to hear it.
Oh.
That annoys me.
stopped him.
Stop
Right
him
away.
like that. Like
That's
that,
you.
okay?
It's a lot like you. Okay. So go ahead.
So in the morning, now this is like almost 5 a.m. now, right? They go back to the base, they talk, they come back out when the daybreak has happened, and Penniston decides that he's going to bring plaster of Paris with him
What?
so that he can make molds of where the ship landed. So there were definite marks in the ground where the ship had set down.
Oh,
So he
okay.
goes
So
himself,
sort
and
of
he's
like
going to make.
detective work. He's going to go
Yeah.
and get his
He's got.
proof.
He happened to, in his backpack where he carried his notebook,
He
he
had
also
plaster
had
of Paris.
plaster of Paris.
This
This
guy.
is just like the Hardy Boys. It's
Yeah.
the Hardy
This
Boys.
guy
It's
takes notes at the spot.
It's great.
It's pretty impressive.
It's great.
It would be
And you're-
interesting, though, to actually dive a little deeper into him and his background, because maybe he was like a Boy Scout kind of guy. Maybe he, that's why he's in the military. Maybe he is one of those guys, takes notes. I got everything you need. I can dust for prints. I can
No, I
make
gotcha.
plaster
I
Paris
gotcha.
molds. Maybe he's that kind of guy.
What I do know about him is that he's a great kisser.
Wow, you really did your research.
I did my research. I've been gone for the whole week doing this
You did
research.
your
Found him. He's still alive.
He's a great
Yeah.
kisser.
Even at this
All right.
age, he's a great kisser. So,
I can't wait to meet him.
this, so we go the next night. Is December 27th, right? They're having an honorary dinner to give honors, to
Right.
give awards away to
Yep.
people, right?
Yep.
And they're all in there. And since Halt had done the investigation, the door opens and some little airman comes in and goes, "It's back." That's all he says. It's back. So he gets up.
This is
Everybody gets up.
This is this airman that came in as a non.
Just a yeah. He just said the
He's just a
lights
guy,
are back.
dude. Yeah,
The lights are back is what he
He's
said.
radar. He's radar from
MASH. Yeah.
MASH. Yeah. Same running. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Okay.
Where he's
I'm
like,
just painting a picture for our listeners.
right. Or in today's day to be like, your Uber ride is here.
Okay. All right. So
All right.
So Halt is like, what?
Halt goes out.
shit?
Now, one thing they said about Halt is that he carried a recorder
Okay.
of a tape recorder with him all the time.
But Halt didn't go out in the woods the night before.
No. He went out after. They called him after. And he was like, man, spaceships, get out of here. Now he's going out. All right. They record him. He records himself. And they have the audio tapes. They have the audio tapes of him describing what he's seeing. Right.
Okay.
So they get out there and he's recording all of this stuff. And he's describing what he sees at night and everything. So the next day they go out. This is now December 28th. The next morning they go out. The morning
they
of the
didn't go out
28th.
that night.
Yeah, they went out that night, but he just recorded the lights and everything that he saw on the 27th into the 28th. Okay,
that's right. Okay,
on the 28th, they go out and they see that there's trees that have been marked, like hatched, like there's divots taken out of trees. There's radiation being detected in the area. The animals are still like
a little
antsy, right? They're unsettled, right? And then that was it. They wrote the report up, strange lights, and then it kind of just died there, right?
Okay.
But months after, Burroughs started having health issues. He had eye problems. He was having a hard time with his breathing. He felt like he was having heart palpitations all the time. Penniston was having nightmares to where he'd wake up and he felt sick.
And these are the two guys that touched
These are the two guys that were the closest, closest to the ship. When you check out the Air Force records, the classified records, there's nothing there. They don't talk about it because it's all classified. So Burroughs went to a different doctor than the Air Force doctor, and they said that he was exposed to some type of radiation. And they called it a broadband non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation, which is the same type of radiation that comes from a microwave, just so that you know.
Okay. So they told him to stop using the microwave?
Right. They were like, dude, stop cooking your hot dogs in the microwave.
You can't just get in with it.
To warm up. Just use it to warm up hot water for tea. That's it. I don't want you to use it. And whatever you do.
Or popcorn.
Or don't put anything metal inside. Okay. That's the thing. And if you've got a heart condition or a pacemaker, don't go near it. Just don't go near it.
Right. I wonder, I mean, that's odd. I mean, microwaves are very safe. So I wonder how
they do know that microwaves give off a radiation. They do know that.
Yeah, but you have to be
contained.
You have to be in. You gotta. I mean, that's gotta be for him to get sick from something like that.
I hug it. Like when I make hot chocolate, I'm like,
oh, you hold it. You hold it.
I hold it. Well, it's because I love hot chocolate.
You hold it gently.
I kind of caress it, and I'm like, thank you, microwave, for your ionizing electromagnetic radiation. Right.
But in all seriousness, you'd have to get exposed to that kind of radiation. It's either through a microwave or it's got to be from something
there, right?
Something there,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now Penniston, he starts having like these visions of ones and zeros, right in his head.
That's so freaking weird.
Okay, and he felt sick every time it happened. But here's the weird thing.
Every time he had the visions, he felt
the visions of the ones and zeros, right? So he decided to start writing down the ones and zeros. And the more he wrote, the better he felt.
Oh, he was writing them down in probably the order he saw them or the patterns he saw?
Yes, and the patterns that he saw in his notebook. right? His
Yeah.
famous notebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he wrote it all down. And then once he got rid of all of that, he said he felt 100 times better.
You know what?
So
That's
it was
interesting.
like that data was making him sick.
He needed to download it. But that's another interesting detail to this story is
Yeah.
it's an odd detail because he was feeling sick. He was seeing the visions. He would feel sick to have it. Let's just say this is an alien encounter, right?
Right.
And he was uploaded. He was uploaded with this information. And the only way for him to feel better, Andrew, is to download it.
Right.
That kind of advanced, I don't even know what you call it. Advanced sort of
Alien technology.
Well, I think you can call it alien technology, but to be able to do that to a point where you eventually, as a human, you're like, the only way I'm feeling better is if I download this and write it down. That's
Well, he
crazy.
just thought of that. I mean, he just thought of it. So
we're just not prepared.
okay.
We're not prepared to handle that kind of advancement. I mean, that's kind of weird. Okay.
So let's
ahead.
fast forward 30 years later.
Okay.
He gets interviewed.
So that's
2010.
2010?
It's 2010.
Yeah.
And he's there and he brings his notebook out. And during the interview, he shows them the numbers. Now, he claims he had forgot about the numbers completely until he did this interview. He's like, oh my God, look, there's these 011.
Is this the same notebook or is this a copy of? Okay.
Same notebook, his notebook. He never turned it back over. So they looked at it, and the guy interviewing him in 2010 says, that looks like binary code. And Penniston goes, what's binary code? So
yeah, but even I know binary code.
This guy didn't.
I know a binary code.
He didn't know what it was.
He's in the military. I would know writing down ones and zeros. That's binary code.
Maybe they wiped his memory when they put it in. Don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. My point is, I'm
Dude,
surprised
when I
he
looked
didn't
at
know
it, when I
30
saw
years
the
prior.
pictures of his notebook, I was like, that's binary code. I knew that, and I'm not,
That's what I mean. I think immediately anybody in the military would go, oh, that's binary code.
I am working for the CIA, so it's probably why I know.
Okay. You're not supposed to say that on air.
Viewers don't say that on.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
I'll beep that out. I'm going to beep that out.
Please beep that out. Thank you. Okay, so the guy from the show takes the code and he gives it to a computer expert.
This is 30 years later.
30 years later. And they say, it's a message from the future.
What is the message? From the future. So this is a message from the future, but it's 30 years later. The aliens are probably like, they should have known this by now.
Do you want the message or not? I have the decoded message.
No, let's not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. That's our episode. We'll get to that message another time. Just kidding. All right, go ahead. Yes. What is the message?
The message reads, exploration of humanity continuous for planetary advance, eyes of our eyes, origin year 8100.
So not till 8,000?
No.
The year 8,100?
No, what they're saying is that this is from the future. The message is from the future, meaning that the origin year of this
year
message
8,000?
From 8,100. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Or are they saying, tell me the message again. Say it again.
Exploration of humanity continuous for planetary advance, eyes of our eyes, origin year 8100. So the origin year of the message is what they deciphered is from the year 8100.
Right, but what does eyes of our eyes mean?
I don't know. So there were other things in the message as well, in the binary code, and they said that the other codes are locations.
Okay.
The locations are Caracol, Brazil, Sedona, Arizona, the Great Pyramid of Giza,
right?
The Nazca Lines in Peru,
yeah,
Mount Taishan or Taishan in China, the Temple of Apollo in Greece, and the final location is in the middle of the ocean. Now, early maps from years and years ago, hundreds of years ago, talked about High Brazil, which was considered a phantom island. A civilization that lived out in the ocean that was later destroyed. Could that have been Atlantis? Possibly. I don't.
But wait a minute. What do all of those locations? Do they have something in common? Are they implying that perhaps there's alien bases there, or what is the point?
They didn't say. They just gave those longitude, latitude.
I mean, I get Giza.
Numbers.
I get Nazca.
Right.
I get those.
Sedona. There's been a lot of stuff in Sedona, Arizona.
Right. I know, but
in Brazil.
I mean, I don't know enough. I don't know enough to tie those locations together. I'm sure there is some sort of commonality among those. So go ahead.
Okay. So here's what I found really cool. Penniston does not believe that this is a UFO.
Oh, what's he think it is?
He believes it's
After all of
messages.
his experience, he does
After
not
all of
think
his
it's a UFO.
experience, he
Yeah.
says that this is not a UFO. He believes it's messages from us
In the future.
6,000 years in the future, that we're being visited by our future selves.
Now, I've heard that theory before, like aliens are not aliens, they're us from the future. Does he dive into that a little deeper? I mean, is there any more to that? Or
No,
did you just said that and that was it? He had dropped the mic.
that's it.
He said that and dropped the mic.
It's like, it's not aliens, it's us.
But so he's basing that off of the feeling he gets from the message he received. I'm assuming.
Yes. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's
All right.
cool. That's cool to think about it that way.
Right.
But
Right.
why are
No,
we sending messages from the year 8000? There's got
maybe
to be a
because
reason.
we are going to destroy ourselves and took off in this black glass spaceship.
Yeah, but
and
it's
it
hard
saved
for
it.
me. It's hard for me to believe that because we're sending messages from the year 8000. So you know what I mean. It's like we didn't destroy ourselves if we're sending messages back that are
But it must have gotten
6,000
bad
years in the
enough.
future.
Must have gotten bad enough here for us to come back and try to warn ourselves.
Yeah, but if it was okay, warn us for what reason? That would be the questions I would have.
We've
Why are
got to
you
figure that
warning
out,
us?
right?
Yeah.
Wait,
Why,
I'm
why
going
warn
to
us?
push this
How about
button. Should
yeah,
I do that?
right? Instead of
Hmm.
sending these really cryptic messages from the year 8000, how about just say, "Hey, motherfuckers, you did something wrong, and this is what it was. Don't do this, okay? Because that ends you."
Right.
Instead, we got to go eyes of my eyes. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. Okay, now what does that mean? Eyes of my eyes.
Eyes of my
Yeah,
eyes.
I mean, you know what I mean. So it's just for me, it's a
Of
little
my
that's a little
eyes.
challenging. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what, listeners. I'm going to tell you what. If I know shit's going to go down and I take off with aliens, I'm going to send you a very clear message that this
You
is what you shouldn't
guys
do from the future.
are fucked.
Yeah. So
Bye.
here's how this can be avoided, and very clearly. Take vitamin C. Be nice to
Don't touch
everyone.
cats. Don't
Yeah,
touch cats.
right.
They carry disease.
Don't. It's the cats. Everyone, it is the cats.
It's cats. It's
Yeah.
cats. I'm telling you right now, it's cats.
No, it's not
Okay.
cats. It's not
So
cats.
as
We love
far
cats.
as the story, that's what I have for the story. Now I have some other information I would love to
Well, let's
divulge
go. I
to
need
you.
some more compelling stuff because I don't know what to think yet as of now so far.
Okay.
To
Maybe
me,
this will help you.
this is a very cool story. Basically because it involves the military and involves
Right.
these kinds of binary notes and all of
Right.
this
So
stuff.
there's
Cool.
two schools of thought there, right? There's schools of thoughts for people that believe in UFOs, right?
Mhm.
That will say the military, look what the military, they're covering up. It's got to be a UFO. The military's covering it up. So it's automatically a real UFO story. And then there's the
Right.
people, I'm going to say like myself, that like to dig into the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find the evidence and they go, no, guys, this isn't a UFO. This is this, and this. And this explains why it is this, right?
Okay.
So there's the two trains
I'm
of thought.
excited to see what you found that is making
Okay.
you stay the
So
way you are.
it's just alcohol and cocaine.
Okay,
If
go
I
ahead.
could kick those two vices,
Yeah.
I'd believe in UFOs.
Okay.
It's that
Mm-hmm.
protects me from believing is what it does.
Yeah. Well, I'm constantly high, so I believe in UFOs.
Right, but you're on marijuana. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm like anxious.
I
and
think
then
my wife
sleepy,
slipped me
and
something
anxious,
different the other night.
sleepy.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay. So, records show
Mhm.
that there was a vessel
Records from the declassified.
from apparently from the
document.
classified say that there was.
Right. Okay.
Now, did the events happen on December 26th and December 20?
It went 26th to the 28th, right? Or was it 26th and 28th or whatever?
Right.
Something over that 3-day period, 2-day period.
No.
No.
Misinformation. The first
What?
sighting was actually on December the 27th, not December 26th.
Okay.
And this is from Halt's statement. So
Why would
Halt
they
didn't,
change the date? What does that have to do with the
because
price of
Halt
tea in
brought
China?
in Burroughs and brought in Penniston and
Mm.
brought in the other two guys, right? And he said on January the 13th, Halt gave his statement. That's several days later than the 26th, 27th, or 28th, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And in the statements, they said that it actually happened on December 27th and December the 28th.
Halt said that.
Yeah, in his statement. Now, he's the head guy. I mean,
Right.
I saw the letter
But
with
maybe
him.
he was mistaken on the dates.
No, these are the dates that they actually talking to the four guys because he got their statements. Their official
Okay.
statements were not given until later.
Okay, but what
Okay.
does that have to do with me deciding
I'm
whether it's
not.
true
I'm
or not?
getting. There's more.
Okay.
There's more.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, in that statement, Burroughs later said that the lights were not a ship. It was actually from the lighthouse.
Who
And
said
the
this?
only
Burroughs?
Burroughs.
He's
Burroughs.
saying it, but he's also the one who said he lost time. But
That's
now
not
he's
in the
saying
report.
the light.
Now,
Well,
remember,
who
all
said
of
they
these
lost
guys,
time?
all of these guys say they lost time in 1994. None of them in 1980. So this
In the
is later.
original
I'm going to get
report,
there.
it-
I'm
in
going to
the
get there.
original report, it didn't say they lost time.
No, this came out in 1994.
Okay, go ahead.
And that wasn't from Burroughs. That was from Penniston. Penniston
Mm.
said Burroughs lost time in 1994. And guess what he was under? Regressive hypnosis.
Okay.
In 1994, Penniston went under
So
regressive
that's
hypnosis.
7 or 8 years later after the
Yes.
incident.
No, 14 years later after the incident. 1980. This is now
Oh, the
1994.
80. Right. Yes. 14 years.
1994, right? And he said that he was the only one that saw the ship. No one else saw the ship. He was the only one that saw the ship. And all that came out. All right. Now, here's what's interesting, too. I told you about how Halt had his voice recorder, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that there's 4 to 5 hours worth of recording on those tapes? And they've only released 18 minutes of it. And that was edited. So those 18 minutes were edited. And Holt says he still has the tapes, but he won't release them.
Why?
Don't know.
He doesn't
Don't
give a
know.
reason for not releasing
He doesn't
them?
give a reason. Also, Halt came out later and said that the U.S. government and the British government at those two bases were actually testing mind-altering drugs on people.
At that time?
Yep. In the
So
early
you think
80s.
they were high as F? They were high as F going out into the woods?
I'm not weighing in yet. I'm just giving you the facts of the stuff that I uncovered as I was going through.
Is there any facts that Burrow or Holt or Penniston were
On
taking those
mind-altering drugs?
Yeah.
Would they remember if they were?
Well, I mean, there's no declassified document that came out that says that they may have been?
No. Come on. Okay, so the marks on the trees, remember I told you there were hatchet marks on the
Yes.
trees? Right? Those were actually marked by loggers in the area. They were cutting those trees down. The marks on the trees were actually to say these trees
We're
need to
cutting
get
them down.
cut.
Mhm.
There were no high levels of radiation. They went out there and they tested it. and
Well,
they
then why
said
is it
that-
in the report that says that?
See, that was the thing. It was never in Halt's report. All this stuff came out after with Burroughs and Penniston. None of that stuff was in Halt's report. The initial report did not talk about radiation. Remember, the recording of Halt's is him saying, "Oh, I see the lights. The lights are here. They're blue, they're red, they're green, they're yellow. They're changing. They appear and then they disappear. And they
Okay.
appear and then they disappear." Okay?
Right.
Remember the animals that were screaming?
Yeah, the
All
animals were
animals
hysterical, screaming.
They were
Yeah.
like so scared. The animals
Yeah.
were so scared.
Yeah. That's a lot
You
of
hear-
birds. Yeah.
No. Do you know what that is?
That sounds like a fox or something.
That's a muntjac deer
Okay.
that are actually live in that area, and they do that. The locals hear that scream
Let me hear
all
it
the
again.
time.
Let me hear it again. Let me hear it again.
Okay, hold on.
Keep going.
Okay.
I mean, that would scare me. In the
Okay.
middle of the night, 2 a.m. in the morning in the woods after seeing lights coming down and I'm high as fuck on some drugs that the base gave me.
On some LSD, probably, right? A mind
That would
altering
scare
drug.
me. Sure.
Okay.
Wait, what are you saying though? That
What do you mean?
that's a common sound, the
That's a
muntjac
common sound in that
deer?
area. Yeah, those
But
deers
you're
are in the area. The locals, they talk to the locals about animals screaming, and they're like, "Yeah, those are just the deer. They scream all the time."
wait, is that what you played for us? Something that Penniston recorded?
No, no, no. That's just a recording of the deer to give you an example of the screaming. Remember, they said they heard screaming. That was the
But
screaming they heard.
yeah, then you
Were the
can't
deer.
enter that into evidence. You can't enter that into evidence. That is not a recording that he took. How do you know that that's the sound we heard in the woods on that night?
Because they said they heard screaming, and the locals came
And so
forward
you're just
afterwards.
saying that it's that? You're just citing on your own? I
They're
thought we were going to
saying-
listen to the actual recording of the sound. You
No,
can't-
no, that's
Wait a
the
minute,
recording of a
I got some
muntjac deer.
sounds you can listen to. Rah, rah. This
All
is
right,
what they heard. You can't do that.
Okay. All right.
Retract-
So we got to throw out
retract
the
that.
evidence that
Retract that.
I'm not going to retract it because those deer live in that area, and that's the
No,
sound they make.
I don't care. You're making up that that's what it sounds like.
So they
That
don't
may
have
be
recording.
how the deer sounds, but that's not the sound that they're describing.
They said they heard screaming animals. That sounds like a screaming fucking animal to me. I don't know. Listeners,
my
what do you
God.
think? Should I
Oh.
play it again so that you
Oh
can
my
hear it?
God. Yeah. All right. I am not taking that proof.
Okay, don't
into-
take that as
into
part
this
of your
decision.
evidence, but take
I
this as
can't.
part of your evidence, right? In 2018,
Mhm.
SAS troopers, you know what SAS troopers are?
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
British Special Forces,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They said that they were sent to test the security of that base,
The security.
they
Oh, they
dr-
had to test the security of it. Okay.
and they dropped into that area at night
Undetected.
undetected, but then they were caught, and they said that they got roughed up a little bit until they told them who they were.
Mhm.
Now, this is just hearsay. This is what some SAS troopers said. They could have been high as
Mm.
shit too. We don't know. But they said
What if
that
they drugged the entire base and everybody was just
just
freaking out?
gassed them.
Yeah.
They just gassed them, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So let's talk about Penniston's notebook.
Yeah.
All right. And I said that was
That he always had
2010.
with him. Yeah.
That he always had with him, right? In 2010
Mhm.
is when he showed the binary code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know that he did an interview in 2003, 7 years prior to that, where he showed the same notebook because he showed the images of the ship that he drew? Did
Yeah.
he just forget that the binary code was in the back of that notebook? Like he didn't bother to thumb through it all? He's like, I'm just going to show them these first three pages. Here you go, guys. These are the first 3 pages of what I
What did he show them? He didn't show the binary code.
No. And then in
But he didn't-
2010,
But
he
he
came
didn't
back
know it
and
was
said he
binary
forgot.
code.
Right.
He didn't know it was binary code.
Okay, so he didn't know it was binary code, but he didn't show them all the ones and zeros and stuff that was downloaded into his head that he felt sick until he freaking wrote it down.
But he came back and said that he forgot to show you.
Seven
us?
years later, he came back and said, oh, yeah, hey, here's this code, these numbers that I wrote down. I don't know what they mean.
Okay.
Now, here's what's interesting, too. The code was in English,
Code was in. Okay, I get you.
and it's ASCII character set. In 19...
Yeah, ASCII. Yeah.
Okay, so in ASCII character set in 1980s, ASCII was 7-bit.
Mm.
But this code that he showed in 2010 was actually done in 8-bit. Could it be future code? Don't know.
Okay.
Possibly. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the people processed the code. The people who took the code and processed it, they actually took some liberations with the translation, because the translation that he said gave coordinates gave no coordinates.
Well, how did he know what it gave when he didn't know it was even binary code until someone deciphered it for him?
Right. But the people
How would
it
he
was
say
later,
it's coordinate?
it was later deciphered, and it had no coordinates in it. So the people that deciphered it made up these coordinates.
Okay. But
Okay.
this is someone deciphered it, and then a different person
Right.
deciphers it.
Right. So that was 2003, actually 2010, when he said the code was downloaded into his head. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And remember, he said that there was a flash of light, and then his consciousness went a little bit in and out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the code
Yeah.
was like put into his head,
Yes.
and then he
Yeah.
was sick
Yeah.
until he
Well, he
put
didn't
out the
say
code.
that night in the report
No.
that he wrote. This was
No,
all
no.
years later.
This is later. This was
I think
under
that's
regressive
really what your
hypnosis.
point is. Your point is that all of this stuff comes out years later, but you also have to take into account that this is military. So all of it's classified. So he couldn't talk about it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
maybe he was told by Holt not to put it in the
Right.
report.
Right. Now that's a valid point. But here's another valid point. He did his regressive hypnosis in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In 1993,
That's
there was an
11 years later. Yeah.
right. Okay.
Mhm.
In 93, which is a year before 1994,
Mhm.
there was an X-Files episode that aired called The Conduit.
Mhm.
In that episode, a guy touches an alien ship
Mhm.
and code is downloaded into his head. And
Mhm.
can you guess what the code was?
This binary code.
No. Protect the planet. Clean the planet. It was binary code.
Our listeners are like, we're all saying binary code at the same time, and then you roast this.
Okay. So that's it. That's
Yeah,
all I
but
got for you. I
you know
mean,
what?
and then years after he mentions the binary code in 2010, but in 94 he talked about this code being downloaded in his head
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
ship and he wrote it down. Okay.
All right. So, Andrew, do you think this is a mostly true alien story or not? Based on all this information.
You know what's really sad is that when I started researching this,
Wait, there's a
I was
sadness to
like,
this? There's a
there is
sadness to
sadness
this?
to it. I was sad,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm the non-believer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I started researching this and I started digging into it. And in the beginnings of it, I was like, man, this is so freaking cool, right?
Mhm.
Time lapse. Nobody's really going to believe him. He's saying all this stuff. And then I start digging and digging. And then I find a body and I keep digging and I find another body. So after all of my digging, my answer is no. This is not a mostly true alien story. The lights were actually the lighthouse because there were two other guys that they don't talk about that talked about the lights from the lighthouse through the trees would actually pulse, look like they were pulsing
Yeah.
because they were on a cycle of 5 seconds and then they would go out and then it would come back on again because it's alerting ships to the coast.
Mhm.
Halt found that out after. And remember, all of these guys that were there were all really young. They were all super young and they had never been anywhere before.
Sure.
This is their first time in England.
This is their big
So-
adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
So you're not saying that they made it up. You're saying they misinterpreted it or they're
They
riding an
misinterpreted-
opportunity.
They misinterpreted the lighthouse as a spaceship, and then they probably were on some sort of hallucinogens or something and just made up this shit.
So you are going there. You're saying that
I'm
maybe they're on
going
hallucinations,
drugs.
but you're not saying that their story changed. You're thinking that they misinterpreted it, and then years later, are they trying to capitalize on it? They trying to make money on it?
Yeah, it could be the effects of the drugs
Yeah.
later.
They're all still alive. Most of them,
I think so.
probably,
think
right?
so.
80,
Yeah.
84. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
probably still alive. If they were 20 in 1980, they're still alive. Yeah. No,
All right. So
they'd
you're
be
saying
65.
it's not a mostly true alien story.
No, it's not a mostly true alien story. It's a great story. I love the story, and I really wanted it to be true, and I was believing it. I was like, "What the?" And then I start reading, and I'm like, "What? What?"
Yeah.
And you know what? The dates being wrong doesn't bother me. The
Mhm.
statements bother me.
Mhm.
The facts bother me.
Okay.
Look, if I was on TV and I had a notebook that I had written down all this stuff in,
You're not going to
shapes
miss
of the
that.
things, you're not going to miss the 00100 in the back. Come
That
on.
would be that's what you lead with.
Yeah.
That's what
Dude,
you lead
I
with.
don't know what this is. Oh, that's
Yeah.
binary code. Well, what's
Yeah.
binary code?
Yeah. You would have led
Dude.
with that in 1984.
Yes. I would have led with that in 1980. I would have
Yeah.
gone right to Halt and said, this code was something's
Yeah,
happening,
this
dude.
is the shit.
I'm getting
Yeah.
sick. I'm not feeling good. So
All right.
that's it.
All right. So you say it's not a mostly true alien story. It's my turn to weigh in, and I will. To be honest with you, many times I go into these stories when I research them, and not that I am easily taken into these because I want these to be true. But for the most part, I start off thinking that every story we're going to tell is a mostly true alien story.
Right.
I will say, even coming into this today, I was like, I know this story. I've seen this story. I've read the story. I've been into this story many times. And I believe it was a mostly true alien story until you laid out some of this stuff. So a lot of this information was new that I hadn't heard. I'm not buying into the hallucination stuff. I don't know. I think that's a stretch to be able to do that in 1980
Dude, they were
be
doing
able to
LSD
get away
in the
with that.
60s. No, they were doing
I
that
know,
stuff
but
in
to
the
be able to
60s.
get away with that even late 60s, they could get away with anything. 80s, in the military is a little more difficult, I think. And then as we get to present time now, we're back to they can get away with anything. But I think during that
Not in
time,
the
I think it's a little, yeah.
not in
I
the
don't know. I don't know if it's,
60s, sometimes in the 70s,
yeah,
never in the 90s,
Yeah.
2000s, no, but now,
No.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Penniston was involved in that, maybe, and the other guys were not. But I could see how they could get caught up in it and thinking that one thing could be another. But based on the information that you shared with me, I have to take that into account. And I think this is not a mostly true alien story. Yeah, I think it's a very cool story as well. And I'm a little disappointed just on the information you shared that made me think that this is not a mostly true alien story. All right. If you've got your own theories and reactions or your own take on Rendlesham and maybe we missed something, hit us up in the comments or message us directly. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get our subscribes up on YouTube. Help us reach that goal. Turn on notifications. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, be kind to the aliens when they get here. Thanks, Andrew. Good job.
Thanks, Neil. Bye.
Can't wait to see that fight with you and Greer on Christmas Day.
Dude, Greer, he doesn't stand a chance, bruh. Doesn't stand a freaking chance.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later.
UFO sighting.